I'm going to go through Modern Warfare 3's global launch for all platforms and the day one update that is now live in the game that changed a bunch of important things. We'll go through all of the info you need to know in today's video. Timestamps down below to skip around to a certain part of the video. I don't want to waste your guys' time here, but let's get straight into this. We have campaign stability and performance. Offline play will no longer be prevented after first setting up an Activision account. Save data integrity has been reviewed and checkpoint loading errors have been solved. Fixed multiple UI-related crashes that occurred while navigating menus, resolved several crash bugs when loading into some missions, fixed an issue in which some players experienced an excessive load time after the opening title splash, fixed several graphical bugs that resulted in hitching after a melee kill, and fixed a graphical bug that resulted in assets loading in low quality. For some gameplay bug fixes here in campaign, resolved a bug that resulted in low audio skipping, and missing dialogue in some cutscenes, adjust areas in multiple maps in which players could use vehicles and helicopters to access out-of-map locations. Enemies should no longer stay in cover more often or longer than intended. I definitely noticed that in the campaign. Fix a bug in which certain command inputs unintentionally reset loadout selection. Players can now toggle the optic for the silenced M4 and the Cronin Squall. Fixed a bug in which players became immune to damage from gas and equipment. Fixed a bug in which supply boxes would not open on the first attempt. Fixed a bug in which weapons were missing from orange supply boxes. Fixed enemy clipping through objects in the environment on death or in combat, and fixed warning messages for areas where the player could only crouch. Cool stuff there. But now for what's a bit more important, multiplayer changes here. Massive changes from the MP beta. A lot of great changes as well. So first up here, we have visual changes. Added a stroke to player nameplates to improve visibility. Big W there. Adjust font and contrast of the score event text on the HUD to be less obstructive. That's great as well. New features here. So added a HUD element that displays the player's current streak after each kill. Match event pop-ups now feature the respective player's equipped calling card. Great as well to see that back in Call of Duty. Skillful player achievements such as Kingslayer, Collateral, etc. will now display a metal splash on the player's HUD. That's great. Tac stance toggle state is now indicated by a widget in the lower right area of the HUD, replacing the previous prompt while aiming down sights. That's a cool change as well. Match stats are now available during a gameplay via a new tab in the scoreboard, allowing the player to compare current performance to their career average. That's also really cool. Detailed statistics are now viewable while choosing an attachment in the gunsmith. And for bug fixes here, players will no longer be unexpectedly prompted to choose a loadout after earning multiple rewards. Now for some map changes here, this is great. Added spawn anchors to many maps in order to influence the flow of combat in the direction of each map's intended design. Spawns are, for the most part, so much better in this game, although I did see some crazy spawns on certain maps. So for the most part, people are saying spawns are a lot better. From what I played this morning as well, they seem to be a lot better. In Team Deathmatch, team-owned areas are now more favored by spawn selection and resistant to enemy pressure, okay? In Domination, spawn selection is now more resistant to enemy pressure on flags, improving consistency by favoring owned flags. That's good as well. Estate here added frontline logic to prevent unintentionally frequent spawn flips. Favela decrease the priority of spawn points near the shacks and construction site, okay? And High Rise decrease the priority of spawn points in the Actibase and Phonic tunnels. For gameplay changes here, adjusted footstep volume to further distinguish enemy and friendly players. A big W there. At least from the beta, friendly players were just way too loud, so that's good to see. Added an option to double tap the aim down sights button to activate tac stance. That's good. Refresh default loadout options with a widened range of content. For movement changes here, sprint input while sliding will now cancel the slide animation. Decrease aim down sights time penalty while jumping by 20%. Great movement changes there. The movement feels actually even better than what it was in the beta, and then for the beta it was already pretty good, so that's really good to see. For settings here, added an option to double tap the aim down sights button to activate tac stance. Added new options to slide dive behavior, so tap to slide, disable the dive, or tap to dive, disable the slide. Most people are doing this here, disabling the diving overall. If you just have sliding, it makes it a lot easier overall, but you know, to each their own. Cool new options here if you want to mess with that. Now for some big weapon and attachment changes here, we have for the SVA 545 assault rifle, increase bullet velocity by 19%, increase rate of fire from 632 RPM to 682 RPM, up 8%, increase lower torso damage multiplier from 1 to 1.1 times, decrease recoil to veer less to the right. For the MTZ 556, increase bullet velocity by 18%, increase maximum damage range from 23 meters to 27 meters, up 17%. For the MCW, increase bullet velocity by 18%, increase recoil during sustained fire, and decrease minimum damage from 24 to 21, down 13%. For the Striker SMG here, decrease maximum damage from 42 to 36, down 14%. Decrease near medium damage from 33 to 27, down 18%. Decrease fear medium damage range from 27 to 25, down 7%. Decrease minimum damage from 21 to 20, down 5%. Decrease aim down sights time from 250 milliseconds to 240 milliseconds, down 4%. So this was obvious, this was going to get a slight nerf there, and it seems like it got a pretty decent nerf overall. For the Holger 26 LMG, increased bullet velocity by 13%. For the Pulmyot 762 LMG, increased bullet velocity by 16%. Decrease maximum damage from 47 to 45, down 4%. For the Jack Annihilator Bullpup Kit Conversion Kit, increased bullet velocity by 29%, and decrease rate of fire from 666 RPM to 571 RPM, down 14%. Now for the MTZ Interceptor Marksman Rifle, increase bullet velocity by 15%, increase hipfire spread during sustained fire, decrease aim down sights time from 330 milliseconds to 265 milliseconds, down 20%. For the MCW 6.8 Marksman Rifle, increase bullet velocity by 12%, increase hipfire spread during sustained fire, decrease aim down sights time from 260 milliseconds to 245 milliseconds, down 6%. For the Longbow Sniper Rifle here, increased bullet velocity by 13%, swapped full auto crosshair for expected semi-auto crosshair, increase flinch when shot by an enemy player to align with the other sniper rifles, and increase hipfire spread while moving and during sustained fire. For the KV Inhibitor Sniper Rifle, increase bullet velocity by 5%, increase hipfire spread while moving, increase flinch when shot by an enemy player by 18%. WSP Stinger Handgun, swapped semi-auto crosshair for expected full auto crosshair, decrease maximum damage from 25 to 24, down 4%, decrease maximum damage from 27 to 25, down 7%, decrease maximum damage range from 12 meters to 6 meters, down 50%, decrease upper torso damage multiplier from 1.1 times to 1 times, decrease hipfire spread during sustained fire. For the Renetti Handgun here, swapped semi-auto crosshair for expected burst fire crosshair, slightly increase recoil during sustained fire, decrease minimum damage. For Jack Ferocity Carbon Kit Conversion Kit, swapped semi-auto crosshair for expected full auto crosshair, increase aim down sight time to 200 milliseconds, increase sprint to fire time from 80 milliseconds to 100 milliseconds, up 25%. For the Core 45 Handgun, decrease maximum damage range from 9 meters to 6 meters, down 33%, decrease near medium damage range from 20 meters to 10 meters, down 50%. For high velocity ammunition, decrease bullet velocity multiplier from 1.2 to 1.15 times, decrease sniper rifle bullet velocity multiplier from 1.3 to 1.17 times. For low grained rounds here, ammunition, decrease damage range penalty, decrease bullet velocity penalty, and decrease recoil control advantage. For high grain rounds ammunition, decrease recoil control penalty, decrease bullet velocity advantage, and decrease damage range advantage. For optics here, decrease aim down sight time penalties across multiple optic types. That's great to see. We have dots and holographics, 30 milliseconds to 0 milliseconds, down 100%. That's wild, actually. 2.5 times, 70 milliseconds to 15 milliseconds, down 79%. 4 times in hybrids, 40 milliseconds to 20 milliseconds, down 50%. And scopes, 100 to 50 milliseconds, down 50%. These are all just such W changes here. Great stuff to see. And for muzzles as well, slightly increased aim down sight penalty for flash hider, compensator, and muzzle brake types. Now, some important perk changes here. We have the Demolition Vest. Battle Rage Tactical will now only restock up to 1 use. Tactical pads, boots, increased slide velocity, replacing the slide distance advantage. Note, perk description will reflect the change in the future update. Tac mask gear, added immunity to flash grenades tactical thrown by the player itself. Field upgrades here, trophy system, mosquito drone killstreak will no longer be targeted and destroyed. For medbox here, updated description to better reflect functionality. Deploy a box of medical supplies for you and your teammates to reduce the healing delay. For killstreaks here, enemy killstreak activations will now invoke announcer voice lines as expected. Guardian SC, decreased volume of Guardian SCs owned by teammates. Increased environmental audio occlusion, addressed an issue that caused a player's HUD to disappear until respawn after being stunned. For counter UAVs here, players within interior areas will no longer receive a not enough space to call in error upon activation. And for the Juggernaut Recon, decreased magazine capacity from 20 rounds to 8 rounds, down 60%. That was definitely going to happen there. The Juggernaut Recon was a bit too overpowered in the beta, so I guess that's a good change overall. For vehicles here, we have the NSTV, increased traction to improve handling on slippery surfaces. And overall, those are all the major day one changes here in Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer. I mean, some pretty big changes overall. It seems like here again, they're really open to feedback. They're really open to making the best MP they possibly can. And so far, it's pretty good. I don't know where this would rank across all the past MPs, but it's probably one of the better MPs we've seen in a couple years now. And again, for playing this game early in the global launch is tonight. The game will be playable at 9 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. Eastern at these times up on screen, at least for PC. Now for console, if you live in New Zealand, Australia, you could play the game right now. The game is officially out right now. If you live in the United States and you want to play this game early, as I said, if you're on Xbox, all you have to do is change your region to New Zealand, restart your Xbox, hop in and play. If that doesn't work, also change your Activision account region to New Zealand as well. Go online, sign in, change that region, and you should be good. Now, if you're on PlayStation and you live in the United States or you live anywhere besides for New Zealand or Australia, what you could do is go to your Activision account, change your region there to New Zealand, and then join someone's game that already is playing MW3, and you'll be able to play early. So my friend Captain Allen, if you guys saw my stream earlier today, he has MW3, he lives in the United States. All he did was change his region to New Zealand on the Activision account. He joined my game, and he was now able to play with me early on New Zealand servers, which doesn't make sense, right? Because he doesn't have a New Zealand copy of the game. So if you guys are on PlayStation, try that out as well. If you guys are on other platforms, try that. For PC, there's no way to play early, but for consoles, be sure to try that method if you want to play right now. But if not, the game will be fully launching in a couple of hours for all regions. So be sure to subscribe for more COD update videos like this. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff here over the next couple days for the launch of MW3. Let me know down below what videos you want to see on the channel. Shout out to the YouTube channel members as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video or live stream. Peace out, guys.